to Lok Sabha 2024. Of course, the top story, the top discussion tonight across the political circles and beyond is what's happened with Arvind Kejriwal, India's first sitting chief minister to have been arrested. Well, let's just give you first an update of what's happened. He is still in court. He was brought to the court, to the Rouse Avenue court around 2 in the afternoon. It's over 4 hours, in fact 4.5 hours. He still is in court. The court has reserved its judgment, but the judgment should be out soon. This is all connected to the Delhi liquor policy scam, in which he is, according to the Enforcement Directorate, a kingpin. The Enforcement Directorate has made some very huge allegations against Arvind Kejriwal, seeking for a 10-day custody. Now, these are all charges, these are all allegations by the Enforcement Directorate that have called Chief Minister not only in an individual capacity, but also somebody who is vicariously liable, since the Aam Aadmi Party, according to the Enforcement Directorate, functioned as a company. Now, the Enforcement Directorate has said that Arvind Kejriwal is the main conspirator. Manish Sisodia played primary role. Vijay Nair was the middleman for the South, and that being the link to K. Kavita, who was arrested earlier after raids and questioning which lasted around 6 to 7 hours. Arvind Kejriwal asked Sarad Reddy to trust Vijay Nair. The money was transferred twice, first 10 crores and then 15 crores. And in fact, Arvind Kejriwal wanted funding for Punjab and Goa elections. There have been allegations of several kickbacks also that have been received to the amount of around 100 crores. But more than that all added up, including the bribes that would have been paid to various payers, it comes to around 600 crores. Let's just introduce our panel, and we'll keep going back to this story at this point. I'm being joined by Pradeep Mahaur, who's a BJP leader, Ikram Sandhu, a spokesperson for Congress, and Dr. Akash Deep Muni, the political analyst. Well, to you, Pradeep Mahaur, first. The Enforcement Directorate has made scathing allegations, but the opposition has rallied together in a way that has not seen the opposition rally together for the past several months. From the north to the south, you have had opposition leaders slam the move of arresting a sitting chief minister, the first sitting chief minister to be arrested by the Enforcement Directorate, even as a model code of conduct is enforced. How do you respond to this?
We have seen many things for the first time. Very first time we have seen a chief minister who there was allegations against him, and morally we have seen in India that most of the chief ministers would resign on such kind of serious allegations if there is some kind of an arrest or something, because they want to maintain the sanctity of the position that they are on. But Arvind Kejriwal is such a shameless kind of a person. He did not resign. He is arrested. 9 times the summons was issued. He went for the anticipatory bail. And now Aam Aadmi Party people are asking, why now? Why is he arrested now? Why not before that? The reason is simple, that he is arrested now because his anticipatory bail has been cancelled. As simple as that. Reason is purely technical. Now, the way they are using this tactically, crafting it in such a manner to position Arvind Kejriwal, making a story to gain the chief publicity. This is something which we have never seen in India. Aam Aadmi Party entered into
Dr.
politics
Akash
saying
Muni,
that they want to. Yes, I'm saying something.
Okay, Pradeep Mahaur, finish your sentence. Finish your sentence,
right.
Pradeep Mahaur.
So Arvind Kejriwal is such a person who entered into the politics saying that we want a cleaner politics. Now he's one of the most corrupt person. He has come up as a most corrupt person in India, where he is the master mind of liquor scam. They actually created a cash cow in the form of liquor scam, and whole trail and nexus has been ripped apart and open in front of the ED. Now he's trying to make it
Dr.
a political
Akash
gimmick.
Muni. Allow me, Pradeep Mahaur, to just go across to Dr. Akash Muni, who is also a political analyst and joins us at this point. Dr. Deep Muni, one of the things that everybody is raising is in 2011 when the Aam Aadmi Party was formed, anti-corruption was its biggest plank. Today, Arvind Kejriwal may not be convicted, yet the trial has to happen under the court. But even as you go to the elections, as the opposition rallies together and goes to the elections, the corruption tag that seems to now come across Arvind Kejriwal, being a kingpin, is what the Enforcement Directorate has told the court. Will the opposition, will the Aam Aadmi Party now see this as a huge dent and a challenge?
See, Sneha, I'm appalled that BJP spokespersons come to the debate without preparation and even without facts. There is no anticipatory bail applied for or anticipatory bail cancelled by court. Please don't make these type of statements. You will be getting contempt notices from the honorable courts. First. Now, yesterday, the Enforcement Directorate lawyer, ASG Raju, Additional Solicitor General Raju, said in the court that neither Aam Aadmi Party or Arvind Kejriwal are accused in excise scam. Interestingly, after saying this, and these are not notified on the documents, I'm not paraphrasing it, then they went and arrested him at the night. Now, let us take the allegations of Enforcement Directorate and Bharatiya Janata Party into consideration, and it is found that they are selective and without any impartiality. Why I say this is that as per the Additional Solicitor General, proceeds of crime are the profits made by bribe payers. Okay, so interestingly, one of the bribe payers, which is Sarath Chandra Reddy, is arrested by Enforcement Directorate in Delhi excise scam in November 2022. The same person in 15 November 2022 gives 5 crore rupees to Bharatiya Janata Party by electoral bonds, mind you. Then in 2023 June, that is after donation, Reddy turns approver by ED. So Reddy is taken to the court by ED and he turns approval. Interestingly, in November 2023, Reddy gives
Pradeep,
another
hold on.
45.
Pradeep Mahaur, I'll come to you. Let him finish speaking what he needs to. Hold on, Pradeep. Let him finish speaking. I will come to you. You're for that. I will let him finish speaking.
Yeah, thank you. Now then again in November, Reddy gives another 35 crore to Bharatiya Janata Party. Now the total donations by Reddy after arrest by Enforcement Directorate to Bharatiya Janata Party is 40 crore. The interesting factor is that if, as per the Enforcement Directorate lawyer, proceeds of crime are profits made by the accused, so the arrested Sarath Reddy has made the profits of 40 crore and given it to Bharatiya Janata Party. So it should be named in the proceeds of crime and Bharatiya Janata Party should be made a party in this particular crime. Interestingly, there is no case by Enforcement Directorate on Bharatiya Janata Party. The case is only against Arvind Kejriwal. That is why the impartiality is questioned. You remember DK Shivkumar case by Enforcement Directorate? It was done before the election.
Let's hold it there. Dr. Akashdeep, let me get a response to what you have said. You've made some very strong allegations. You've made very strong allegations based on what's also emerging from the electoral bonds. Let's get Pradeep Mahaur to respond to that. I'm also being joined by Ikram Sandhu. Thank you for joining us, Ikram Sandhu. But Pradeep Mahaur, do you want to respond to some very strong allegations that the opposition now seems to be rallying again and again, particularly to Sarath Chandra Reddy, who, according to them, was first an accused in this case and then turned approver, and once the details emerge of what the paybacks and kickbacks are, they're saying, how can somebody who paid, who was profitable to the BJP now turn an approver? Where is the connect? How does this turn into being an approver whatsoever? How do you respond to this?
Look, first of all, I am not ED, so that I can't respond to it. The reason is ED will fight the case.
Sorry,
in the court.
first of all, I didn't understand that point. Could you respond to that? Could you repeat that again, please? I didn't understand that. I didn't hear you properly. Can you respond that?
Yeah. First thing is, he was saying that no anticipatory bail was fine. should I read out the judgment or the directions of the court? The anticipatory
No,
bail
I
was
think let's
filed,
just go to the
and
meat of the
the
matter
court.
right now. The allegation that's raised, I think you need to counter to that. Otherwise, it will go up. Kejriwal will be out and I'll have to move out. Why don't you respond to this at this point right now?
So, what is the allegation are you talking about? If you are talking about the allegations of the money trail, ultimately ED has to find out and ED has to report it to the court. Let the things be clear in the court, then we can definitely respond. Till now, ED has given the proofs to the court, and in future, when the whole case will be out and the decision will be there, then the comments will be made. Right now, we are talking about the arrest that has been made. Arrest was important because interrogation had to be done. And as far as this person, I mean, he's talking about that there was no anticipatory bail. You should have rather countered to him that this is, I mean, anticipatory bail was found, and court has rejected the anticipatory bail. Should I read the instructions? Until and unless you attend any call, how would you know what information do they
Okay,
want?
all right.
This is
Okay.
from the court. And he was saying, this person was saying that some kind of a court action will be taken against
All
me.
right, let me
What
just go
rubbish?
to Ikram
I mean,
Sandhu.
you are not
All
prepared. You
right,
do
Pradeep
not know
Mahaur.
about your own party, and
No.
you're talking rubbish over here.
Okay, Pradeep Mahaur, but I think you've missed out on a very important point that that Akashdeep Muni was raising, and that was a link to the Delhi liquor scam and the kickbacks that are emerging. But Ikram Sandhu, ED has sought for a 10-day custody. K. Kavita is already in jail. Most likely, it seems that Arvind Kejriwal is also going to be going into ED's custody. Opposition, of course, rallying behind the Aam Aadmi Party, but this seems to be a huge corruption dent, at least in terms of perception as you move towards the election.
Good evening, Snehaji, and good evening to my co-panelists and viewers. No, I don't think so. I believe people understand. Today, I've been speaking to so many people, and everybody says that BJP is carrying it a bit too far. It is basically they are playing politics with everything. You know, if they're just talking about corruption and they are so holier than thou as far as corruption is concerned, then why haven't they still taken action against Mr. Adani when, according to all things which are in the public domain, just on SEBI's basic principle that a public company cannot have more than 75% shareholding of the promoters. They have more than that because their shell companies through Mauritius has a stake in the 25% which is there for the public, but no action is taken there. For somebody like Ashok Chauhan, whom they used to say कि ये तो जी हमारे सैनिकों की विधवाओं के घर खा गया. Once he joins the BJP, now he's squeaky clean. And the day he joins the BJP, the very next day, he is given a Rajya Sabha nomination. So tell me, were you wrong at that time when you said कि वो शहीदों की विधवाओं के घर खा गया? और were you right at that time? और अब आपने शहीदों की विधवाओं के घर खाने वाले को राज्यसभा का मेंबर बना दिया. बता दीजिए बीजेपी वालों इन दोनों में से कौन सी चीज सही है? आप छगन भुजबल के केस में you go to the ED goes to the court and says we have lost the file and therefore the case should be closed. Okay, there is a 0.001% chance that the file was lost. What action have you taken against those people in the ED? If I'm working in an office and I lose a file, I should be suspended. Departmental action should be taken against me. It is dereliction of duty on my part. No action has been taken against anybody, and coolly they have gone into the court and said कि जी फाइल खत्म गुम गई है, आप इनके against case वापस ले लीजिए. So it really shows that the only thing that they are doing is targeting the opposition, be it through ED, be it through IT, be it through CBI, and all this cacophony will keep on increasing for the next 2 months till the time the election cycle is there. And after 2 months, everything will be put in the cold storage. I'll give an example of Pulwama. They fought the last election of Pulwama. Tell me, Sneha ji, since 2019 result, have you heard one word on Pulwama? Where did that RDX come from? Who was part of that conspiracy? How did 40 brave hearts lose their life? Why were planes not given to them to fly them from Jammu to Srinagar? Nothing.
Pradeep Mahaur, do you want to respond to this? So the washing machine allegations coming to the fore again.
It
When
is a washing
detractors join
machine
the
both of
BJP,
them,
all their
it
sins
is
are washed
washing
away.
machine
Something
for
that Congress across
absolutely
north to
for
south
them.
has been claiming this against the
yeah,
BJP.
both of them
Absolutely.
are
And
going.
it is acid against the
Can I?
opposition that you just burn your
Are you?
opposition. They do acid
Okay,
attack on the
Ikram Sandhu,
opposition.
let
That is what
Pradeep
they
Ikram,
Maur
do.
are you
speak.
from
Ikram Sandhu,
BJP?
allow
Are you
Pradeep
from
Maur to
BJP?
respond.
She's asking me. Can I respond? Look, I have both of them. In fact,
चलिए
both
चलिए
of them
ओके
are
ओके
going
प्रदीप जी
haywire.
बताइए बोलिए.
Right, right. They are going haywire. What they are doing is they are trying to confuse things. Now we are talking about Arvind Kejriwal. They are talking about electoral bonds. You will have a separate debate on electoral bonds. We'll talk about it word by word. We'll talk about each and every data that is there. Right. As he's talking about Pulwama, he's talking about all different things. But he's not talking about Arvind Kejriwal, who is a corrupt person who has nexus with Congress. He has been arrested. Should I respond upon Pulwama? This is not the time to respond upon Pulwama because that is something. I mean, we should not rather connect it politically. Pulwama. I mean, there were several other attacks where so many people had died in India. So, do we attach everything to the politics? During Congress rule, there were so many attacks. There were attacks on the parliament at one point in time. So, do we attach all these things politically? No, not at all. We maintain the sanctity because this is
Okay,
something that was going on against our nation. So we do not connect each and everything politically. Here, the politics is like
all
from
right.
Arvind Kejriwal. Arvind Kejriwal has been caught and
Pradeep,
he has
allow
to
me to
present
just
in the
come in
court, which
because
the
it seems that the Times Network has just accessed the remand application of the ED. And now let's look at what the ED's remand application says. I mean, we know this; it has been out in the public that Enforcement Directorate has named Kejriwal as a key conspirator. AAP was involved in money laundering. AAP is a beneficiary of proceeds of the crime proceeds used in Goa elections. Dr. Akashdeep Muni, let me come to you. See, these are huge allegations which are coming in by the Enforcement Directorate. Of course, it needs to be proved in the court. But it's not just about kickbacks, it's also about the money which is being used for elections. You may be blaming the BJP over the electoral bonds, but here is another example that the BJP will say electoral bonds or no bonds, that does not justify electoral bonds by any circumstances, and neither am I doing. But BJP is going to argue this. What about the money that otherwise gets linked into the elections? Giving the
he'll
example
run
of
away from the
Goa.
topic. I'm telling you.
Okay, Snehaji, thank you for the question. Now, one thing I must clear that I'm not talking about electoral bonds. I'm talking about the accused in excise scam by the Enforcement Directorate, Pinaka Sarath Chandra Reddy, or his company Arundavindu Pharma, who donated the money. First. Second point is that the interesting factor is the remand copy you are talking about. I have the copy as well. So, in the remand copy today, the Enforcement Directorate, through his lawyer, are saying in the court that we should give us remand of 10 days of Arvind Kejriwal because he was meeting, and I quote, he was meeting Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodiya regularly, and Vijay Nair stays close to his house. See the lamest argument that भाई वो अपने डिप्टी चीफ मिनिस्टर से मिलता था इसीलिए और विजय नायर उसके घर के पास रहता था इसीलिए उसका रिमांड चाहिए 10 दिन का. So this is the lamest argument which I have
Manish
heard
Sisodia was having
in a long
mobile
time.
phones,
In the court. Wait, sir,
App,
Okay,
wait,
we're
sir.
out
Apple
Let
of
me
mobile
time.
respond.
phones.
Pradeep,
He was
quickly
destroying
respond
Apple
for a
mobile
minute
phones
and then
daily.
I'll take the last
Come
word
here,
from
let
Yeah.
me
Ikram
complete.
So
Sandhu. Pradeep, 1 minute to you before I go to Ikram Sandhu for a minute.
yes.
No, Pradeep, I'm again
Uh,
and again telling you this is not about electoral bonds, particularly this
no,
topic.
no.
This is very much linked to the excise scam, and this is something that the opposition is raising. A minute to you to respond to this.
Look, they are talking about different things, but as far as Arvind Kejriwal is concerned, Mr. Manish Sisodiya was carrying mobile phones. He was destroying mobile phones, Apple iPhone, on daily basis, and he do not have answer to it. I mean, there are so many whereabouts of the case that are there in the public forum itself, where it has been found that these people were involved. Now the proceedings will go into the court, and ultimately these people are going to be punished when there is clear cut uh, information about a conspiracy being done by Manish Sisodiya, and when a secret
Okay.
discussion between Manish Sisodiya and Arvind Kejriwal was going on.
Okay,
So
only a
ultimately,
minute
that had
left.
to be presented in front of the court, which has been
I have
presented.
to go to Ikram Sandhu. Only a minute left. Please wrap, Pradeep.
Yes. So ultimately,
Okay. Ikram Sandhu,
this
please respond to what Pradeep is saying. Ikram
whole
Sandhu, now really the fact remains. I mean, whatever said and done, I don't think you will get a verdict from the court anytime soon. Before the elections, it's going to be very surprising if there's a verdict that finally conclusively comes in. You know, I asked this question earlier also. Arvind Kejriwal came in with an anti-corruption ring. He's now in jail. He spent a night in the jail. He's going to spend several nights in the jail. They're saying they're going to run the government from the jail. It's unlikely considering the rules that are going to happen. Is this a challenge or is this now a huge opportunity for the opposition?
Yes, Snehaji, coming to your question, of course, the trial will not happen in the next 2 months, and we are not going to have any decision on that. But just shows that BJP is rattled. If they were winning the election as easily as their
30
echo
seconds, sir.
chambers are saying, they would be very easy about it and they will not like to rock the boat. The reason that they are going hammer and tongs after everybody in the opposition shows that they are rattled. And they want to somehow or the other cripple the opposition so that we cannot campaign properly. Our IT department puts up a lien on our account. Our money is frozen. Mr. Kejriwal is in jail. Mr. Hemant Soren is in jail. Things like that. So I can tell you one thing in the bigger picture.
Okay. Totally out of
If Mr.
time.
Kejriwal has done anything wrong, he'll pay for it. But what my understanding is, this is just grandstanding for the election. And
okay, I'm being told to wrap. Ikram Sandhu, Pradeep, Pradeep Mahaur, Ikram Sandhu, as well as Dr. Akashdeep Muni. Thank you all three of us for joining. Huge allegations and counters that are emerging, and an election that is going to see much of this even more. Thank you very much, all three of you, as well as viewers, for joining us. Time for a short break.